And we are live. Welcome, Stream Whānau. Just realised, Josh, we haven't planned our end of year show.
We have not planned our end of year show. You are correct.
Do we bring in Mr. Urquhart again?
Oh, for sure.
I think it's the only thing to do. Go through some of the best stuff over the year. At least we can think of something else to do. Welcome along to the live stream, looking at some more news stories that have been very popular around the world. You know that by now, of course. If you're jumping in at this stage of the stream, well, mind you, I guess you could have just, I don't know, been scrolling away and then suddenly discovered, why is Rima live right now? So we do this once a week between 9 and 10, go through some news stories and more importantly, find out what you've been up to as well. So do make sure you say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're listening from and watching from and that sort of stuff.
Sorry, I'm a little bit preoccupied as I'm doing my best. I appreciate that. Just trying to organise or redirect some technical difficulties, but that's okay.
That's all right.
I mean, everything's working as it should. It's just not working for me as it should.
It's not the way I want it to work.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I understand. Let's make sure we're in the trend. I want to play music for our Spotify segment, but I don't want to get copyright struck. What do you do? What do you do? How do you talk about Spotify and not play music? Like, what is that? I guess unless we play stuff off the Rima playlist, but then Facebook and YouTube still won't know. This is us spitballing, by the way, so just come with us on the journey. They won't know that we're playing our own music.
No, they won't be like, oh, you've got license rights to that music. Yeah. They won't recognize that unless it's through their system, yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Boo. Boo, internet, boo.
Also, we've got the wonderful guest that you could see on the stream, by the way. I don't think she realizes it, by the way. But,
Di Campbell, welcome to Trending.
Just behind me. You see, this is a hubbub of activity, Rima.
It surely is.
It's always moving.
What do you know what she's voicing right now? It looks like an ad. I can see an ad over her shoulder. I can see all the
She's got that ad dynamic.
Well, it's got the cart details. So when you're recording an ad, there's always information on there about like who it's for and how it's allocated in the system and all this sort of stuff. And it looks like that's what's on the piece of paper she's reading. But then Di does voice a lot more stuff these days that she's not so much on air all the time as she is, what would you call it? Station managing? Something like that?
Program director?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, no. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, disappointing. Becky doing her job well and protecting Di from being our unofficial guest star. So we're certainly a no on our other guest star, by the way.
Unfortunately, yes, I do believe that is the case.
The nerve.
I know.
We're going to bring in somebody to talk about IKEA.
She has a meeting, apparently.
Doesn't count. She's a broadcaster first, meeting attendee second. Get her priorities right. Kids these days, and so on.
Welcome to the pre-show for Trending, by the way, as we take a look back over the week that was in terms of the trending stories, the stories that you and other Kiwis were searching for more information about. If you are joining us on the stream, leave a comment below, say where you are watching from, what you might expect to see, what you reckon will pop up in Trending. And of course, you can always text on through as well, 8168 keyword Rima.
Yeah, because it's mostly about hearing your thoughts on stuff. I love this show for many reasons, but one of them is that it's always surprising. What is going to be number one? Sometimes you think you can pick it, and other times just complete left field stuff. So there's a few things in here that I did see coming. And then, of course, being able to go around the world is also one of my favorite parts of this. I have too many favorites to say that. I need another phrase. Another thing I enjoy is being able to see what's popular in other nations, what stories have popped up as their, most commonly clicked. So, of course, we'll be diving into that a little bit later on as well. Otherwise, did you know that some people believe they know the names of one of the wise men?
Really?
Yeah, we had somebody text through earlier today identifying one of our wise men as Balthazar.
Okay.
I'm like, all right. Is that, how do we know that to be a thing?
Don't ask me.
But I'm asking you.
But I'm telling you not to.
But I'm doing it anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. So now what? It's a standoff. What are we going to do? How do we resolve this? This is the end of the show? Like we just can't...
We could change the topic.
Okay, fine.
To the fact that we don't even know how many wise men there were. We assume 3.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we did talk about that as well. We were going to give a clue today to get people to guess the wise men. It was going to be nobody knows how many friends I really have. But yeah. I don't know, 3 is just a good, rule of thumb. But if you're a bunch of wise men, what is the optimal number, I suppose?
I mean, the Bible does say one gave, right? So we know at least 3.
Maybe there were just more than 3 wise men, but only 3 of them had any manners. Like, really smart people can be a bit socially awkward sometimes. Like, they're not good around people and they've gone the whole way and be like...
Or it was a situation where, and let's be honest, we've both been here, your wife buys the gift, gets the card, and you get your name attached to it. We are giving you this gift.
Yeah.
But really.
Yeah. From Aki and Andrew, but let's be honest.
It's mainly from Aki.
Mainly from Aki. This show, though, mainly from me. So let's see what your thoughts are on our stories. We're about to dive in, so stick around. Be awesome. And those words are in Isaiah 52, verse 7.
Live on air and online. Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Hey, that's me. And look at you, being a part of the show with us. Welcome to Trending. It's only like 3 more of these for the rest of the year. Doesn't that blow your mind? 3 more looks back at the week that was to find out the news stories that Kiwis were looking for more information about. And in fact, if this is the first time you've joined us, it might be helpful for you to know that these stories are selected via Google search activity and also the most clicked on stories in our major news services around the world. I find it fascinating because it's one thing to be told the things that should lead our nightly news bulletins, but it's another to see whether or not our search behavior aligns with that. Are we as curious about these stories as the ones that have led our nightly news? Can we learn something about that? Does it reveal something of our human nature, maybe your friends, family, and neighbors? Well, this is a community, this show, and so to make that possible, we're also looking forward to hearing from you, but to tell you how to get in touch, Josh Beatty, great to see you again. We're in a formal black today.
Yes, well, I would also say I have tomorrow a wedding. And
why does that affect what you wear today?
Well, because I've been smart and I ironed a shirt once instead of twice, and so this is the shirt that I'll be wearing at the wedding tomorrow. And
right.
Because I know we live stream Trending, by the way. You can see us right now if you so choose. You might be watching already. If you are watching the stream, that is great. Leave a comment below. If you'd like to watch Trending, if you have that ability, head to rema.co.nz and click on either the Facebook or YouTube links. And then, of course, yes, when you get in, leave a comment below as well. But if you want to text on through because you're listening, it is 8168 with the keyword REMA.
I've abandoned all pretenses of formality now too. Like gone with just the standard white t-shirt. There's no collar.
We're black and white and we're opposite ends of the spectrum now with you in the white t-shirt and me in the black dress shirt.
Whose outfit do you like most? Don't answer that. Well, you can answer that, or just let us know what you think about the stories that we talk about today, or even if you think there's something missing that maybe we need to give more attention to. Whatever it is, we're going to look at these stories together. So thank you for joining us. Let's look at story number 1, shall we?
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
These are the news stories that have been the most popular in New Zealand and around the world. And we thought for number 1, let's head to the good old US of A, because this story, I can understand why it wasn't popular in New Zealand, but it is pretty remarkable.
Number 1 trending on CNN. We're going to get to our Google search results in just a moment, but we're speaking about Donald Trump, but maybe not directly to begin with.
No, this is Michael and Susan Dell. Now, the headline itself, Michael and Susan Dell donate $6.25 billion to fund Trump accounts for millions of American kids. So you might feel like you're missing a lot of important information here, and you are. But Michael and Susan Dell, who are these people? Well, if you've heard of Dell Computers, then you've heard of Michael Dell. This is the guy.
I had not made that connection.
Yeah.
I had not made, 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah. So there you have it. Michael and Susan Dell, they have decided to come up with $6.25 billion. It's part of a wider policy that was brought in through Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. So what are we talking about here? If you're on the live stream right now, we're going to have a quick read through the article on CNN. But this enormous pledge of $6.25 billion will help fund Trump accounts for children in America who weren't a part of his initial big, beautiful bill. So the Treasury Department will deposit $1,000 into the account of every eligible U.S. citizen child born from January 2025 through to December 31st, 2028. $1,000 per child. That is, yes, it's a lot of money. Just did a bit of mental math.
Oh, for sure. Is there a particular purpose this money is supposed to go towards, or is it just
It's
a handout?
Well, I mean, it is a handout. It's partly to give kids a bit of a boost, encourage saving and investment and all this sort of stuff. But of course, there are some who don't qualify, and this is where the Dells have kicked in. The Dells charitable gift will go to children ages 10 and under who were born before the cutoff for the Treasury funding. So the Dells donation will fund $250 deposits for investment accounts for at least 25 million children, which is where you get your $6.25 billion from.
Must be nice.
People complain a lot about billionaires and how they're not using their wealth for the benefit of other people. That sure does. $6.25 billion. Yikes.
It all adds up. It's the reminder, of course, that all those, I know $1,000 is no small chunk by any means.
Sure.
Somebody wants to come and give me $1,000. Hey, you're more than welcome to.
I dare you, but you won't, but you're scared.
It was my birthday recently. Christmas is coming up. There's so many reasons to give me $1,000.
Got a new house as well. Wife with an expensive tastes.
But then
really
you
true.
do look at the drop in the bucket $1,000 is for a billionaire, but then you combine that all together. You can tell why, or you can see, why this was number one trending on CNN.
Yeah. And, could somebody do it in New Zealand?
Yeah.
In all seriousness, right? Do we have that kind of money floating around? I'm probably taking the wrong lesson from all this as well. But like billionaires get a lot of attention, particularly in the US, because they do have some of the wealthiest of the wealthy. But you kind of realize even for $6.25 billion, people talk about, well, if we just tax the rich would solve all of our poverty issues. And certainly we want people to, pay their share, disclaimer. But you just realize like $6.25 billion, gone, $250 a person. That's not really a life-changing amount of money for many households. That'd be like paying for your groceries for a week. So, wow. Encouraging to see though.
Yeah, I guess a feel-good story to begin trending with.
Yep. So that's your number one story from CNN. Kind of understandable, right? Michael and Susan Dell donating $6.25 billion to fund Trump accounts for American kids.
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Now let's head to New Zealand, shall we? And stuff.co.nz, one of our most popular news services in the country. And now looking at some of the most popular stories that were there. Number 4 this week stood out to us.
Salaries versus mortgage costs. Now, this is a continuation, not directly, but let's be honest, Andrew, the previous episode of Trending included a large conversation over multiple different stories about money and finances and the economy.
Cost of living and so on.
Seems that's continuing here.
What? You mean we haven't resolved our cost of living problems?
Trending has yet to fix everybody's problems. We're trying, we're doing our best, but yet to achieve our goal.
Gosh, that's going to be an awkward performance review, isn't it? You had one job.
What's the boss going to say? Fix the world. You didn't do it.
All right, be back in 20 minutes. So salaries versus mortgage costs, where would you live? Where would you live to make the best of your income versus your expenses? And before we get into the story, would love to know if you have moved. Have you decided to maybe improve your work-life balance or try and move somewhere that's a little bit cheaper versus what salary you bring in and so on? If that's something that you've done, we'd love to hear from you today.
Get in touch, 8168 with the keyword REMA. That is how you text on through. But if you are watching or you'd like to watch the stream, rema.co.nz, click on either the Facebook or YouTube links and leave a comment below. Where do you live now? Was that a change due to financial reasons?
And maybe like myself, perhaps like Josh, you also feel, I won't say stuck, but the nature of our career and where the studios are, where else would I go?
Where media in New Zealand is in general, is based here in Auckland.
There are some in Wellington, but their cost of living, and dare I say it, because I do enjoy Wellington, but if you live there, thoughts and prayers. There's just, it was a running gag for a while on the news bulletins we had on the half hour, just what else has gone wrong in Wellington today. I think they've just stopped reporting on it because I can't imagine it's all turned around in a hurry. All to say, if you kind of feel like you're stuck where you are because of your work too, you could let us know on that front. But there have been a number of analyses performed, and classic stuff.co.nz/clickbait news service with a bury the lead somewhat. And I'm trying to find out, where in this article it says where you should go to. Scroll. Finally, about halfway down the page, here's your options.
Okay.
All right. Let me know if you take one of these. Maybe you already have done. Southland offers the highest surplus of $3,238 per month. So that's taking a look at the gross income, average gross income of $5,893, and then the region's low estimated mortgage payment of $2,655. So what they're looking at is what can you earn in that part of the country versus how much you'd have to pay to live there. Southland, number one.
Southland. Okay. It's on the radar now.
Really?
I mean, it's always got to be, right?
Yeah. Well, if it's good enough for Marcus Lush, right?
Well, that's a good point.
That was a big thing in New Zealand. He hadn't followed that, of course. Media personality moved to Southland for lifestyle reasons, and then was still able to do his broadcasting stuff from down there. So, we were saying before we're stuck in Auckland because of broadcasting requirements. Maybe we're not.
That's true, because we know the producer of Marcus Lush.
Yep.
And Marcus does work remotely, and then his producer does a lot. Well, that's what we need. We need somebody who's willing to stay here as the producer. Then we can, again, so if you want to give us $1,000 or you want to be our producer.
Bro. Hey, look, you have not because you ask not. Taranaki, though, second highest. And for those who want to stay on the North Island, how's this? You get $2,963 on the balance after factoring in $5,777 against an estimated mortgage of $2,814. So Taranaki being the second best contender here.
Okay.
If you're wanting a little warmer weather, perhaps. The thing about Southland, which Southland is, I'm saying this on your behalf, so calm down. They do get a lot of sunshine.
They do?
Get a lot of sunshine. Don't get the temperatures that I always want. You get some, fine, I'll give you that, but don't pretend to me like you're Hawke's Bay, all right? You're not fooling anyone. You get sun, I'll give you that, but don't be telling me you're some little paradise at the bottom of the South Island. We know that's not true. Okay? Okay? Sorry, I was just looking very seriously down the camera right now.
Just a quick reminder, if you would like to disagree with Andrew, you're more than welcome to 8168 with the keyword REMA, or, of course, leave a comment below on the stream, rema.co.nz. Click on either the Facebook or YouTube links.
Last curveball on this one then.
Now this, we looked at this earlier. This was surprising.
The third best place to go in terms of getting a surplus between what you earn and what you pay in your mortgage, Auckland. Auckland, did you see that coming? Huh? Wow. Turns out the big reason here is that it's got the top gross income in the country. So we looked at some of the other places, their income was around about $5,000 to $6,000. For Auckland, the gross income around $7,667. So a lot more. But then, of course, the mortgage is also way higher as well, $4,945. So yes, you earn more, but you pay more for the privilege. On the balance, though, it would suggest to us that you're still doing okay if you are choosing Auckland for income/lifestyle reasons.
And that's what we want, right? More people moving to Auckland.
I think so. When in doubt, move to Auckland, right? Have you considered it? Have you moved out of Auckland somewhere? Maybe you moved to Southland. Maybe you moved to Taranaki. Maybe you are looking furtively at Auckland saying, the promised land. Yes. The land of plenty.
Milk and honey
Exactly.
floweth forth in Auckland.
Amen. For verily the grapes are as big as a man, and the occupants are as giants. We were as grasshoppers in their sight, and so on and so forth. All right, what do you reckon? Get on the text 8168 with the first word REMA, or jump in the stream.
That is rema.co.nz, and click on either the Facebook or YouTube links. And hey, leave a comment below.
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Now, jumping into the Google searches today, coming in at number 16. What does this say about our country? That the Santa Parade was only number 16.
Well, it is specifically the Auckland Santa Parade that was being searched for.
Yeah, but it's a very significant population base. Like I would
That's
have
very
thought
good
maybe,
point. That's
you
a
know.
very good point. And once again, weather did put a, pun intended, dampener on the event. Oh, no.
Woo!
Is this what we've become?
Yeah, well,
Look how far we have fallen.
I don't think so much what we've become, but we're just finally acknowledging who we really are. 150,000 people, though. in the city for the Santa Parade. And on a slightly closer to home note, it was great to be able to cover the story from the Auckland Church Network over the last couple of weeks as well.
Yeah,
with
amazing
the float that
to
they
see.
put in there.
Yeah. We even had representatives from Sanctuary. Nerida and Lee went along.
That's right.
Our
Our
got a
sister
little bit
station
wet.
across the hall.
That's right.
They sung, they danced. They were in the choir, actually, so maybe they didn't dance, but certainly sung.
I mean, if you're singing, you got to dance, right?
The old Pentecostal two-step, one to the side, the other side, other side, other side. See, the great thing is, even for those of you listening right now, I know you can see exactly what this move is just by doing this.
But you know a little bit more about the float that the Auckland churches put in the parade. Do you want to delve into that a little bit more just quickly?
Well, they were just trying to make something that was more central to the nativity. Like, where is the nativity in all the Santa Parade fun and games? And so just to make sure that there was something that was reflective of the Christmas story and the birth of Jesus. In addition, of course, to having the choirs and things, they also received contributions so they could distribute some tracts and info to the crowd as well while they were marching down the street there. Best thing from my perspective was that they were also the last float before Santa Claus.
I see.
So if you're going to think about, hey, let's remember the main reason for the season before, of course, you kind of have to finish with Santa. Like, I get it. Fine, whatever. That's a pretty good spot to be in. Either you want to be right at the front or just before Santa Claus. So I think you'd have to be pretty happy about that, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Hopefully it did some good. I'm sure it did.
When was the last time you went to a Santa Parade, though?
The last time I went to a Santa Parade, I was in a Santa Parade.
Oh, yeah?
Because I used to work for Rainbow's End. And they had a few floats in some of the local South Auckland parades.
Sure.
And we know, of course, it's summer in New Zealand when Christmas rocks around. And I was wearing the Rover the dog costume, which was slippers, fur gloves, a fur onesie, a big foam hat, and then, of course, Rover can't be naked, so he has to wear clothes.
Thank you for clarifying.
And you're on the top of this fire truck, and I'm giving all I've got, lots of dancing, lots of waving. And I lean over to my boss and I say, hey, how much longer? He's like, oh, yep, I can see the end. About an hour later, I said, are you sure you could see the end? He said, just lie back. He pushed me just gently as I fell back into the fire truck. He closed the door. I took the head off, and it was as if I had had a shower, and heat stroke certainly affected me, shall we say.
So everyone who ever wanted a mental image of a hot, sweaty Josh Beatty, now you have one. Happy Christmas.
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Staying with Google, though, number 10 now, and this required a little investigation.
Yeah, this one is interesting. So let's just start with the trending search term, or the trending search. At number 10 was Luffy.
Luffy, that's how you say it. Luffy.
That is right. This is the main character of a very popular, one of the most popular animes ever, One Piece.
Yeah.
But this, however, is connected to China and Japan and Taiwan.
What? So we've got anime spilling over into geopolitics.
Very much so.
All right, so what's going on?
Okay, so I'm not sure if you're aware, but as I understand it, the Prime Minister or President, and I apologize, I don't know off the top of my head which it is,
Yeah.
but very important person in Japan made a comment about Taiwan. This has angered China. China has begun to basically say anything Japanese. They are boycotting all Japanese products, entertainment particularly. And so another very popular anime series known as Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
They have many movies. There was one that was coming out doing very, very well across the
I've heard of this.
world.
Yeah, it started to gain a little more momentum lately.
Yes, well, it's been tanking in China because Chinese citizens, not at the specific bequest of their government, but because, well, this is China we're talking about.
Right.
They have been saying if that is a Japanese product, we are not going to engage with a product from Japan.
Okay, but what did he actually say? What did he do? Do we have any idea like what the actual comments were?
I am not entirely sure. I just know that it was in relation to Taiwan, and I believe it was anti-China sentiment.
I mean, they do love throwing a bit of a Taiwan tantrum, don't they?
Oh, well, this is, yes, yeah.
Love a Taiwan tantrum to the Chinese, or rather the Chinese government. It's an interesting one, though. Like, I'd be curious to know what mainland Chinese people think versus even those who are, say, expats living in New Zealand. And then, I mean, I've got plenty of Taiwanese Chinese friends as well. So it's all very murky kind of thing. But, no, well, gosh, anyone who points out Taiwan being a distinct country from China or being entitled to its own self-governance, not going to be received well.
I'm just doing my best to see if I can actually source what the quote was or what the statement was. But it is buried deep because this has been going on for a little while now, hence why this has popped up as the number 10. Well, it has and it hasn't turned up as the number 10 search result in New Zealand, but through this main character of this anime, Luffy, which is a very strange. It's one of those ones where we, as the host of the show, have to follow
the threads,
like the red cord on our cork board from here to here to here to here. It's an interesting one.
It's kind of a beautiful mind, but with anime thrown in.
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Let's go to the UK, shall we? And what is the most popular on The Guardian? It's one of my favorite web services to check in with. And the most popular, most read stories over the last week, Donald Trump. Love this. They love a Donald. I think we say this every time it pops up, but it's always true and always fascinating to me that they love a Donald Trump story over in The Guardian. And would you believe Donald Trump's been active on social media?
He's been incredibly active on social media.
Like staggeringly active. Like, how many posts do you think you've put on your Instagram in the last month?
Zero. I know.
Yeah.
For sure, zero.
Okay, 0 posts. I reckon I've done 0 posts and maybe, if it's been 10 stories, that would be a stretch. Like I'm not the most active poster. Have a wee think for yourself. Like how many times have you commented, posted or something like that on your social channels? And then keep this in mind. Donald Trump, 160 posts in one night. That is amazing. If he wasn't president of the United States, you'd think he'd be some unemployed dude who just like, went down some Reddit conspiracy theory and then just completely lost his mind. But
how does he have the time?
I guess you've always got time for the things you want to do.
That's right.
If you want to be inspired, if you want to post 160 times, then you just do it. But of course, him posting a lot is nothing new. 160 times though, and time frame less than 5 hours. Jeepers. What is that? Okay, math wise, what's that? 30 posts an hour?
How many was it? 160.
160 in 5 hours.
Yeah, that's 32 posts each hour.
32 posts an hour. So that's a post every 2 minutes. How do you, I don't even know if I could type that quick. Like, you'd be mashing in, yep, good to go, next. Like, maybe he's got like Hootsuite, some kind of social media management software that helps him schedule all the stuff ahead of time.
I've never heard of Hootsuite before.
I used to work in digital marketing, so it was the bane of my life, among many things in digital. So if anyone ever says to you, get into the website business, tell them no. Whole other conversation. 160 though, goodness me. Having a good old-fashioned rant about, I don't know, Mark Kelly and a group of unpatriotic politicians. Gavin Newsom, of course, was in there. Republican Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Who else do we have? Macaulay Culkin got in there.
Macaulay Culkin?
I think he was reposting something from Home Alone 2. So, Lost in New York, where he's got that famous cameo.
That's right. Okay.
And it just continues. Also, certain stuff that credits Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, who is his head of the Director of National Intelligence. Man's just got a lot to say. Truth Social is the best, though. There's nothing even close. That is something he did post twice. So he started to run out of material after a while, I suppose. It just... There you go. Number one story on The Guardian in the UK was the Truth Social posting habits of Donald Trump.
Let's quickly go back to the different prices living in different parts of the country in terms of surplus of income and mortgages, because we did get a response come through on the YouTube. By the way, if you'd like to watch Trending, you can. It is live streamed. Head to rema.co.nz and click on either the Facebook or YouTube links. But this comment came through saying, we recently needed to buy closer to my in-laws, but we went just one suburb over because the suburb next door made house prices drop by about 100,000.
Wow. Do we know where this was?
It doesn't say, sorry. So if you're that person who commented, by the way, Adele, I believe it is, could you let us know what part of the country was it where just one suburb over, apparently, to move closer to your in-laws, there was a drop in house prices of $100,000. I mean, thinking about Auckland, I've noticed that when we were looking for...
Massively.
Yeah,
yep.
Interestingly.
At the risk of stirring the pot as well, there's jokes to be made about moving close to your in-laws and be like, I'd love to, but I just can't afford. Like, I have to.
That suburb over.
I can't.
How could I?
Because I would love to, but it's not in my. I can't do it. Or if you moved somewhere else in the country for financial reasons, lifestyle reasons. I mean, we talked about Southland and Taranaki being the two places that have the best combo of how much you can earn versus how much you have to pay to live there. Maybe there's something we haven't thought of. Maybe get in touch with us on the text 8168 with the first word REMA, or like Adele has, jump in the chat.
Yeah, leave a comment below on either the Facebook or YouTube because we are live streaming. If you want to find those, head to rema.co.nz.
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Let's continue to look at the most popular news stories in the country over the last week. And now, a moment's silence, everyone, for the passing of an icon.
He's still alive.
Oh, yeah, good point. Simon Dello. He's just dead to me. You abandoned us. But, in a never-changing world, you could always rely on Simon Dello reading the news. But not any longer. He has signed off from One News at 6 for the last time. Mind you, they say that, and they pop up as like the weekend guy or like the fill-in dude over Christmas or whatever. So, gone, but not really.
We'll wait and see what the actual reality is there. But also, I don't know if this is the case across other countries. Do you think here in New Zealand, our news readers get a beloved celebrity status over other countries, and maybe just because we are so small?
Yeah, you might be right. Well, you don't really have a lot to choose from, do you? There's TV1, and I mean, there was 3 News. I actually forgot how they figured all that stuff out in the end. Because you remember there used to be 3 News, and then it went to stuff.co.nz, and then blah, blah, blah. They provide the bulletin back and all this kind of random nonsense. I am doing a mental comparison now. It's very difficult to do. So chime in if you like. Simon Dello or Richard Long? For those of you who are of an era, I said that, and the vacant look. I knew I was going to ask Josh, and call me an expert in body language.
You could have said, it's not Paul Henry. That's not where I'm looking. No, Paul Holmes.
Not really the same.
No?
See, you'd go Paul Holmes and Mike Hosking.
Okay.
Those two kind of sit in the same boat. I mean, Mike did inherit.
John Campbell,
yeah, okay.
He's still around.
He is still around.
Still kicking.
As it were. How interesting, too, by the way, to just age on camera.
In front of the world.
In front of the world.
Well, the country, but yeah.
That's right. Like, I don't know. This just crossed my mind. Like, I don't follow the news very often, so when I did see... I mean, it does... Why do I feel the urge to make disclaimers? He looks fine. Looks good. Like, I'm not... But just, I hadn't looked for a while.
He's a very handsome man.
He's a handsome man, but he's certainly quite the silver fox these days. Tell you what, why don't we see how they celebrated his contribution on One News. This was on the 28th of November, in fact. They put out this little sign-off for Simon Dello, but he was the number 7 search term in the country over the last week.
Simon, we are going to miss you. Thank you for your friendship, your guidance, and your support over the years. I've loved working with you.
Thanks, Rena.
Go well, my friend. It's been an honour working with you.
Likewise, don't make me cry now.
I won't.
Thank you very much. Yeah, breathe heavily. It's time for me to say farewell and sign off from my last One News bulletin. I've always firmly believed newsreaders should never be the news. So now I'm no longer one, and that means I can say it's been a genuine privilege to be on your screens and in your living rooms. It's something we never take for granted, and I'm sincerely grateful. Just as I'm grateful to my One News colleagues for the privilege of having fronted their work over the past 30 years, knowing just how hard they work and strive to bring you the news each day. All I've ever wanted is to be able to help you better understand and comprehend the complexities of the day's news without influencing or distracting you unnecessarily, and I hope I've succeeded in that more than I've failed. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be a small part of your evenings. There have been so many memorable events along the way, good and bad, and our collective shared experience is what binds us together as people. On that note, to you and your loved ones, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a sunny summer ahead. Paul Mariu, good night and good luck.
I'm Simon Dello. Well, I'm not Simon Dello. He's Simon Dello, but that's Simon Dello saying goodbye. See, there he is, how I remember him. There's a still right now of him in a very awkward half-expressed state. But 30 years too, goodness me. How many careers in New Zealand can you literally stick to for 30 years, like one place, like that?
Yeah, it's incredible. I feel like we've just done poor Simon Dello an injustice by using that little screenshot.
You don't like that one?
The poor man.
Maybe we'll play it on for a little bit further. How's that? Is that better?
Let's have a look. I've just put it up on the live stream. You can get in touch and let us know. 8168.
He's blowing you a kiss.
Keyword Rima.
What do you reckon?
Or, of course, leave a comment below, rima.co.nz. Click on either the Facebook or YouTube links. I really like what he had to say in that sign-off. I mean, we talk about this quite a lot, even in trending, because we look at the popular news sites across New Zealand and beyond, and the stuff that is clicked on and the stuff that is being put forward by these news sites, and the desire that he expressed, and it seems, I think, for the most part, as at least in my personal opinion, to not be the news, to not be leading of this is how you should think about this, but to delve into the nuance and bring a full picture of the stories going on. It is what we do hope our news media is, and we have certainly seen that it's not always what it is.
Yeah. So farewell, Simon. Haere Simon Dello or Richard Long? That is my question for you right now. Who is the iconic male news? When you think
I'm going to Google Richard Long.
I can't believe this is.
And see if I even recognize this gentleman.
I mean, there's two eras of Richard Long, as everyone who is familiar with Richard Long will know. There is pre and post Mo.
There is pre and post Mo, and I think I recognize post Mo much more than I do pre Mo.
But it was him. It was him and Primo. It was him and Judy Bailey for the longest. You know Judy Bailey.
I know
surely.
Judy Bailey. Don't come for me. I know Judy Bailey.
Don't come for me, Argentina. No. But Richard Long, Simon Dello, who else needs to be in the Mount Rushmore? Probably the wrong analogy to use for New Zealand, but we don't have anywhere else we keep faces.
I was going to say Pantheon, but maybe that's not great for the the station we're currently broadcasting on.
Okay, well, let's give us another 60 seconds and let me think. Richard Long, Simon Dello, Richard Sherry, Philip Sherry. Who else? Who else needs to be on this thing? There's room for one more. There you go. That's your job to fill right now. 8168 with the first word, Rima. I think that's Philip Sherry, Richard Long, Simon Dello. Who else?
He's not doing it anymore, but Mike McRoberts.
Oh, yeah.
That's not actually who I was going to say, but...
yeah, maybe Mike McRoberts.
Surely.
Maybe. I mean, you did mention John Campbell.
I did.
As well. Is John, though, not really new? He's moved more to, like, investigative journalism. He's more like in the Jack Tamey kind of thing right now. It'd be Jack Tame versus... Anyway, whole other conversation, completely off track. Who goes on to our newsreader, Mount Rushmore? Get your thoughts in 8168 with the first word, Rima, or jump in the chat.
Oh, that's me. Rima.co.nz. Click on either the Facebook or YouTube links.
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Gosh, time is marching on, so we better skip through a few of these very quickly. One story that was super tragic, of course, we did cover this last week, but more news has, of course, started to emerge on this front, and this is regarding the Hong Kong fire that was number 6 trending in the last week.
Yeah, they've ordered the removal of a lot of the netting around many of the other projects that are still in many of the other, I guess, construction sites.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that they believe that was a... what's the accelerant of the fire. But yeah, so this story still ongoing. Of course, it was number 6 trending this week, was trending last week as well.
Let's take a quick look then at this update from Reuters.
Hong Kong authorities on Thursday ordered the removal of mesh netting from all buildings under renovation. That's after the material was blamed for fueling the blaze that consumed the Wang Fuk Court apartment buildings last week. The government mandated the immediate removal of scaffolding nets on all public and private residential buildings by Saturday to, quote, protect public safety and put residents' and businesses' minds at ease. Renovation work across the city will effectively halt while inspectors verify that netting meets safety standards. C.K. Lau, an 82-year-old retiree living in one city housing estate, said removing the nets reduced the chance of a similar disaster.
Because of the incident, there should be possibility to get fire. So if you take it down, there's less chance to get same kind of accident. So the resident will feel better if they agree to take it down. So they agree to take it down within this week.
Hong Kong Development Secretary Bernadette Lin said on Wednesday that more than 200 private buildings and over 10 public housing and government buildings will have to remove the netting, with contractors bearing the costs. The city's building department aims to issue a new code of practice next week, requiring all scaffold net materials to be tested on site. Nets will only be installed after certification by designated laboratories. Authorities said substandard plastic mesh and insulation foam used during Wang Fuk Court's renovation likely fueled the 40-hour inferno, while fire alarms were also not operating properly. Of more than 150 bodies recovered, authorities say 140 had been identified as of Thursday afternoon.
So a tragic story, and those are the consequences therein. I do wonder too, we want to prevent these kind of things from happening. Is this a knee-jerk reaction? Back and stop talking. Because I do wonder what the purpose of the nets was in the first place. Like, I'm sure it wasn't just there for aesthetics' sake. And whether or not that was there to kind of help prevent, I would think something like falling debris or that kind of stuff, maybe keep stuff contained within the building site. So, you know, you're kind of trying to prevent one thing by making another thing more likely to happen. And then, I don't know.
Yeah. It's tragic that it took something so massive for this to be looked into. And it seems that if the nets, as they say, and many of the other building products were a big part as to why this fire spread so quickly, that needs to change. But then, of course, yes, you are potentially either delaying the construction of other buildings because all of these nets need to come down, or another danger is put in place when they're not there, if they do choose to continue. So
I'd love to know if you have any involvement, have maybe been involved in building in Asia before. I know it's a bit of a niche kind of thing to throw out there, but would love to know your thoughts on this kind of stuff, because one of the things they mentioned in Hong Kong was they keep using bamboo scaffolding, which also feels like a bit of a fire risk, if you ask me, as opposed to, say, the more typical metal variety that we're used to in New Zealand and other parts of the world. But are there some other niches to this maybe we're missing? Because it seems like using fairly flammable products like this, netting and
bamboo.
Bamboo aside. Is there something else going here that maybe we've missed? Let us know, 8168 with the first word REMA, or jump in the chat.
REMA.co.nz. Click on either the Facebook or YouTube links.
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
Now, we've got some responses to the newsreader question you've put out there.
Fantastic. Let's go.
Douglas Stevenson.
Ooh, Dougal Stevenson is who you mean.
Or Bill McCarthy.
Ooh, not sure with him.
For Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
And I'd also say we got a text through, somebody saying Tom Bradley was on TV, was a TV1 newsreader.
Yep.
Mike McRoberts also was on 3, not on 1. They would like to.
Oh, no, that's true. No, I'm aware of that. I was just kind of thinking like newsreaders in general. Do we need separate mountains for TV3 versus TV? Because here's the other thing, developing this a little bit further, and what does it say about how we, emotionally attached to our newsreaders? Is it easier to fill the ladies' Mount Rushmore than it is the men's? Judy Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Hilary Barry. Who else needs to go on there? Angela Giordani. No, he doesn't ring a bell with that one at all. So too good at reading body language from you, my friend. I can just, you can tell Josh, bless him. He's young. Time will fix that. But in the meantime, who else needs to go on the old, do we have a ladies' Mount Rushmore as well? Or who else continues to go onto the men's one? Tom Bradley was a great call, by the way. Well done.
I mean, that was a text that came through, so I can claim no credit for it. I'm doing a quick Google now. Who else have we got? Feel free to get in touch, by the way, 8168 with the keyword REMA, or leave a comment below on the stream. Looking at pictures.
Oh, Jim Hickey. Jim Hickey's come through on the text. That is a great get. Though weatherman, not really newsreader.
Heather Duplessis Allen.
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Wow.
No.
Tony Street?
Newsreader? Nah.
Susie Ferguson?
Oh, she's Radio New Zealand. See, now we're getting into radio stuff, which is where lines get a bit blurry.
Right.
Nah. What about, I mean, we've played a few things from her, and I think we still have more coming, but, you know, she's on...
Tom also does say Dougal Stevenson.
Yep, there you go. Gosh, what's her name on stuff.co.nz?
On stuff.co. Oh. Yes.
This is so bad. I can see her right now.
You know what's also awful?
What's that?
We've got a story coming up.
Yep.
That we probably also really need to get to quite quickly, looking at the time, where she is going to feature. And
Sam Hayes.
Sam, we're so sorry. We know you love trending. We know you're definitely watching.
Oops.
Right
but
now.
she's been quite the bastion of television for a while.
She has. She stands on the shoulders of giants, of course.
Indeed. I don't know. Get your thoughts through to us about who needs to go on the newsreader Mount Rushmore. I think we do need a men's and women's division.
Stuart also, by the way, says, great seeing you both live. Interesting topics. Good to have a laugh as well, which helps a lot. Thank you. Stuart, you are welcome.
Good on you, mate. Melissa Stokes has come through as a suggestion as well. We are going off on this one today. We'll come back to it in a sec because there's one more thing we really need to talk about. Two. I'm going to do the first one real fast because unfortunately we wanted to talk more about Spotify Wrapped.
This was number 2 trending over the week that was, and it only came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Spotify Wrapped, number 2 trending in New Zealand on the Google searches. People wanting to know more about it. I mean, it's weird because you get it if you are a Spotify user.
Yeah.
You get it. Why are you Googling it?
Well, there have been some years, though, where certain people have lagged behind others. So you kind of, where's my Spotify Wrapped that hasn't come through yet? Everybody else has got one. Where's mine? I've had that before because I'm a pretty low user of Spotify. So I don't know, maybe sometimes it doesn't have quite enough information.
Truth be told, I think I'm going to get rid of Spotify.
Really?
The AI slop as well as
really
the ethics behind how they pay their artists, etc.
Well, I will say in my case, one of the reasons I think I've used it so little is that I've used YouTube for music.
This is probably where I'm going to move.
Right. Just a bit of YouTube music. It's fine. Play it in the car as I go. No worries.
When we at least last checked, me and my wife, it is cheaper than Spotify.
I'm not even thinking about paying for it. I don't mind having an ad in between and just skipping it. We'll see. I don't know. But the reason it's hard to talk about Spotify is that, well, we'd love to talk to you about the music, but the problem is the moment we try and play music, we get copyright struck on the live stream, so we can't really do it. All to say, Spotify Wrapped, number 2. Let's move on, shall we?
Trending with Andrew Curtis.
To the number 1, there is another contender for the yellow and blue retail crown. Ooh. Briscoes, you're going down. Ooh. IKEA or IKEA. IKEA, apparently it's supposed to be said. We spoke to producer Tabs from the Morning Wake Up earlier today. She went yesterday afternoon like an absolute psychopath. Who would even, but apparently, bigger fool us because it wasn't even that busy and she got in and out pretty straightforward.
Yes, well, this is, we're going to hear this covered actually by Sam Hayes.
Sam Hayes. Oh,
the
iconic.
Incredible news announcer that
she should go with Mount Rushmore of New Zealand broadcasters.
There was, so this was number 1 trending over the week that was in New Zealand, and there was a lot of expectations, particularly around traffic. There was a lot of signage around Auckland. We live in the area, Andrew. You probably saw it yourself. It was like batten down the hatches.
Yep.
Put up, the
retail apocalypse is coming.
Yeah, exactly. Put up boards over your windows.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Canned food and all that.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't really required, was it?
It's weird because on the one hand, it's a highly popular trending news story. But maybe not popular as a shopping destination, just because we all wanted to know about the thing we were supposed to want to know about, and nobody really wanted to buy anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, Costco.
Sure. Yes.
So, right. So, listen.
I remember this.
I was working as the producer for the Rima Breakfast Show at the time that Costco opened. You sent me along. That was
insane.
Crazy.
Madness.
So, why not IKEA?
Well, let's see how they cover it on stuff.co.nz with one of the most iconic and never forgotten newsreaders of all time, Sam Hayes.
Aucklanders had been warned for days to prepare for gridlock on the roads as the country's first IKEA store threw open its doors this morning. But while there were plenty of customers, the traffic was a picture of Swedish efficiency as the Prime Minister, alongside a giant meatball, officially launched the furniture giant 7
How could they tell which was which? Boom!
years after it was first announced. Our reporter Ava Whitworth was there.
Aucklanders were warned to brace for traffic.
It's a joke, Chris Luxon fans. Okay, calm down, all right? I saw it. It was right there. I took it. Shaved head and everything. All right.
Chaos today with NZTA predicting long delays around Sylvia Park as IKEA opened its doors for the first time in New Zealand. But when 11 a.m. arrived, the roads looked surprisingly calm. IKEA was expecting around 20,000 people through the doors today, and while there were still decent lines forming from early this morning, the turnout was far more manageable than expected. Among the first inside was the Prime Minister, who cut the ribbon, sampled the famous IKEA meatball,
just as I remember,
and gave it a thumbs up. Simeon Brown was more interested in the cinnamon scrolls.
I call them Simeon rolls.
Not a meatball man, you don't have the meatballs.
Look, there's plenty of opportunity. The day is young.
Man, imagine being caught out with a question about meatballs at an IKEA opening. How did he not see that one coming? Anyway, blah, blah, blah. A whole bunch of people going to IKEA, buying stuff or not. Very popular, but not as a shopping destination, apparently. You know what else was odd? Was all the people with the Swedish flags who were in the queue. If you were watching the video, you would have seen this. You can still, by the way, watch the story on the Stuff YouTube page right now. About 16,000 people have viewed this one. But Swedish flags, have you ever thought, I'm going to go into the store, I can't wait to wave the flag?
Let's be honest. They did not bring...
Let us not be honest, John. Okay, fine, let's be honest.
They did not bring those flags with them. There was somebody there whose job it was to hand out the flags and make it be an event.
Yeah, true.
There was face painting. There was all sorts of entertainment going on. And interestingly, I wonder, do you think that news story tried to cover up how... I mean, that was like, oh, it was manageable. It was more positive words in terms of it was lackluster.
You mean their retail overlords have had a word to the news department and said, don't you dare cover us in a bad light?
Well, because you also talk about Briscoes, you've got now competition, which you joke about, but also...
Oh, I don't joke at all. It's real, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're coming in hot.
Yeah.
Mind you, Briscoes and IKEA operate in different parts of the market, though, don't they? I'm pretty sure you don't just buy appliances from IKEA, or am I wrong about that?
We have yet to go to IKEA. I don't know.
You do get toilet seats from IKEA. I did see this.
Okay.
Toilets in IKEA. There was one thing that I saw on a friend of mine who put a story up about this. There were little signs on the toilets that they had for sale in IKEA to say that they would display toilets.
Oh,
though,
not for real use.
Which, you know, anyone who's prepared to use a toilet in the middle of a showroom has other issues.
If you are busting, if you find the closest toilet.
In the event of emergency, I suppose, like I could forgive that, but nevertheless, how many of us really need to be told that? Are you creating a problem that doesn't exist? Is that what you're doing?
I guess, are you legally covering yourself?
Covering your butts, as the case may be. So there you go. Okay, look, IKEA or IKEA. I keep reminding myself that's how you're supposed to say it. #1 news story in the country by quite a margin. What?
When it's been said, when it become, well, I don't know. Now I'm straying into bad territory.
No, come on, let's do it. Let's stray.
It's been mispronounced for the longest time. Does it now become the way it should be said?
Ooh, I mean, that is how language evolves, isn't it? Like you've got the anglicized versions of, well, Swedish in this case, but...
Yeah, but then we could get into very, very murky territory and hard conversations when we talk about the way that Māori place names are pronounced in New Zealand.
It comes around in circles, doesn't it? It kind of comes around. So, IKEA, opening up your #1 news story in the country over the last week, though I think it's been proven today that the #1 news story for us is who goes on to the Mount Rushmore of New Zealand broadcasters.
Yes, and a lot of people getting in touch, which you're still welcome to do, by the way, because we will be wrapping up the show soon. But if you're like, I need more trending in my life, we will have the post-show, by the way, where we continue to stream just for a little bit. But of course, we're not on air in terms of the radio. So if you're looking for the live stream, rema.co.nz, Facebook or YouTube links is what you need.
Any other names we can think of then before we jump on out of here? Trying to consider... I thought it was going to be easier to come up with the ladies, but I realize it's really just 3 again that come to mind very quickly for me, and then the rest. Because you've got Wendy Petrie, for example, but I don't know, not feeling it.
Can't say I know Wendy that well.
You don't know Wendy Petrie?
No.
Wendy was
okay, I'm going to do a Google.
Simon's
again.
offsider for a wee while.
Okay, again, once I Google and I see her face.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, so they're just a pretty face to you. They're nameless, personality-less individuals. Unbelievable. I thought better of you, but no.
I would like it to be stated firmly that I have forgotten male and female names this whole show.
Equal opportunities.
Jenny Mae Clarkson comes up when we do a bit of a Google search.
Nah, she's not my top 4, because it has to be your top 4, doesn't it?
Patrick Gower?
Not really a newsreader.
No?
I don't think so. Would you put him as I've been investigative journalist, perhaps, but I don't know if I'd put him into the newsreader category.
Do you know, I just realised Patrick Gower. I just never made that.
What, that Patrick is Paddy?
Yeah.
The things you learn on this show.
I can't say I know my news readers well.
Well, we'll fix that, won't we? We'll stick around for a wee while, do a bit of live Googling as one does. But if you have to go and you've just been listening via the radio, thanks for being a part of Trending today. We'll be back again next Friday between 9 and 10, taking a look at the news stories in New Zealand and around the world that have captured everyone's attention. If you can, stick around for the post-show via the live stream. Just go to rema.co.nz, click through to the YouTube or Facebook links. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Right. Now, let's really try and solve this one. Do we finish up the men first, or do we go to the ladies?
I'll take your lead, because we already know that this is not my area of expertise.
You did so well. Just bluffing there, sitting along. We're like, please don't ask me about this person. No, don't ask me about that one either. No, I don't know who that is. No.
Melissa Stokes?
Nah.
Wow.
Nah, not iconic. Like, I'm not saying they're bad newsreaders. I'm just saying, like,
I'm a big NBA fan.
Yeah.
And we have the conversation around
the Mount Rushmore of NBA.
Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
And there are so many more NBA players who are all fantastic.
Okay, can I have a go?
Don't earn Mount Rushmore status.
Can I have a go?
Okay, you can try. Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Yes, of course.
LeBron James.
Yep.
Kobe Bryant.
Sure.
And then you probably got to put Steph Curry in there.
Well,
but you would also have to think about, say, some of the greats like Wilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
You've got guys like Bruce Russell.
Bill Russell.
Sorry.
Here's the thing.
Magic Johnson, Larry Bird.
Yeah. Your Mount Rushmore is 5, and you've already strayed well past.
Yeah. Is it 5 on Mount Rushmore? I thought it was 4.
You might even be correct. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think the MJ, LeBron, Kobe.
Well, see, Kobe is a very divisive one.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Guy got 5 rings and he's still not really. All right.
I mean, Shaq, you haven't put Shaq anywhere
Nah,
near.
I wouldn't put him on there.
Wow.
I wouldn't put him on there. I think, if anything, Shaq underperformed for what he could have done. Hey, that's not just my opinion, by the way.
I know.
I think Phil Jackson even said that to him. The point is, see, I know more about NBA than you think. We were talking about New Zealand. I'm going to go back to the male news readers for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
NZ news readers male. Let's see what we got. Oh, list of New Zealand television personalities. John Campbell, Simon Dellett. See, it does say Jack Tame, but he's not really, again, I don't put him in the, like, newsreader
category.
Thing. He's a great interviewer. I think he's doing incredibly well in that space now.
Who's the guy that always is hosting on the NZ, is it the NZ Herald?
Ryan Bridge.
Ryan Bridge.
Nah, that guy's got at least a decade or 2 before he can get into this list.
Okay.
He's, again, doing fine. We are not trying to disparage in any way, blah, 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 disclaimer. I just feel like, it just doesn't quite do it for me. Have you got more generic personalities, dare I say, which is probably the wrong way to say this, but like your, say, Simon Barnett, for example.
Simon Barnett.
He's probably worthy of like just broadcaster.
That's general, one I know as well.
General broadcaster, I think you could put him on there. You could put him alongside Mike Hosking and Paul Holmes. I mean, the problem is you have those who have done big stuff for a while and then kind of disappeared. I'm trying to think of, who was the guy? Philip Leishman? Mark Leishman. That goes back a little bit before Josh as well. But like, you remember when Mark, if you're on the stream right now, when Mark Leishman used to host everything? Even Phil, actually, both of them used to be on everything for a while. Who else we got on this thing? Martin Devlin, Murray Deaker,
Hamish McKay.
Yeah.
I will let you know. I'm just now at the point where I'm throwing out names because
fair enough. Fair enough. You got your Duncan Garners lately. So you got a bit of recency bias going on in all this as well. Mikey Havoc. That's funny.
Should we? Well, Paul Henry is an interesting one.
Yep.
Here's the question.
Okay.
Because there is a strong sense of yes or no, they belong as beloved. Because we're talking about beloved, really. What makes a news presenter, regardless of male or female, because we're doing the different categories.
Sure.
What Hillary Barry, beloved.
Beloved. Look,
why?
I will say this, and this might be the more controversial take on all this kind of stuff, but it is the X factor that justifies why these people get paid what they get paid. To have a person that you don't know, I mean, realistically, we don't know Hillary Barry. I've never met her. But you just have that sense that if I was around her, I would like her and we would get along fine.
Charismatic,
warm,
confident,
authoritative, but not too distant. Familiar, but not too flippant. Like there's a fine line. Certain personalities are very memorable, but they don't hit that balance just right. And so even going back to the Judy Bailey conversation, I mean, people used to joke about her being the mother of the nation for those of that particular era. And maybe I would say Hillary Barry is probably the Judy Bailey of those who are, a touch younger. Josh is now nodding because he doesn't really know Judy Bailey at all. He's just smiling.
I know Judy Bailey.
He doesn't really know her, though.
I do too. I do too.
The point is, there's just something about a person, and it's very hard to put your finger on, but you can't deny that it's there.
You can't deny
it's a rare quantity. Because if you were to argue, because I wouldn't say it's even about the mechanics of the job. It's at the risk of putting ourselves in the conversation here. If you were to just think about what we do, reading news stories and giving people updates on stuff and competitions and giveaways and that sort of thing, the mechanics on the one hand are not impossible to learn. I know certain people would find it harder than others. You need to have a fairly high verbal fluency to make this work. But it's not just that. You couldn't just, if you just take one person out, put another person in and say, do all the same stuff the last person did, wouldn't work. So that is the intangibles of this kind of stuff. And it's why some of these people end up with these long storied careers and others maybe don't stick around for quite as long.
And I wonder if the conversation also is it something that you're born with, that, you have that just type of personality, that way about you, or is it a skill set that you can actually develop? It's most likely a combination of the two.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But I wonder if it leans
one way or the other. I think you would need to have an interest in communication and in people, then fueling your continued personal development in that area. That's how I like to think it goes. I think there's certainly such a thing as natural talent for stuff. But you've also likely heard many a story of sporting fields are the best example. Someone who wasn't necessarily the most obviously talented player, but through time and effort ended up getting themselves, Michael Jordan's everyone's favorite story on that one. Dan Carter was the same in New Zealand. So, maybe those two things coming together.
Yeah, there you go. Because it's an interesting one where we get to this part of the conversation, because you talk about just getting a job or just wanting to go into a field and whether or not the feeling that a lot of people can have is, well, I just could never do that.
Yeah.
I could never do that. And whether or not there is actually reality to, yep, you're just not that type of person.
Well, it's like me working in accounts. Like, could I technically do it? I mean, maybe,
Yeah, well,
but I would just,
right.
Heck no. Just not my jam, and I'm no.
Because there is a reality. There is an element of that. But yeah.
Yep. Well, look, on that note, we're going to leave you to Andrew Urquhart for the rest of the morning. He's going to be along very shortly, but man, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for your thoughts on our Mount Rushmore. That took off.
It really did.
Did all right, didn't it?
You might need to extend this conversation on the Rumour Breakfast Show, I imagine.
Problem is we're a bit Christmassy right now.
Ah, well.
Hard to slot it in.
That's not the end of the world, is it?
I suppose that's true. Hey, thanks for being part of the show, being part of the live stream. Always a pleasure. We'll see you next week.